All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to discuss real quick the Summer Wells case and the new information that is out. Now, I'm going to play you some voices of supposedly Hunter's mother. So, this is a newer video that has just been out. So, I'm going to play it real quick. We'll listen to what the mother is saying. I think it's Hunter's mother or something like that. So, let's check this out.
One tear. No, she faced.
She wasn't hysterical. She was just calm.
Did
you
actually see Summer in the car? When they pulled up, yeah. So you saw her.
She did.
Was she alive?
In an interview with Hunter's mother, she reveals that when Candace dropped Hunter off later that day, she wouldn't let his mother say goodbye to Summer, who was still in the car.
She was sleeping when it was hot out there. She was sleeping.
They had the windows rolled up. It was hot.
The
out.
windows were rolled up, and I wanted to give her a hug,
No
and she
air
said I couldn't
conditioning.
give her a hug.
So right there, that's
that
where I
suspicious
said,
to you?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
Because,
told
you
the
know,
TV
you
that.
heard of a secondary drug.
I said I always hug that baby. I will never see her
Whether
in my
she's
name.
sleeping or not.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would wake up.
She would wake up
loved
and crawl
her.
in my arms.
Where you swallow
She'd be
so
out of
much
that
water
car in a
to go
heartbeat
to
in my
the
house.
Summer loved her.
Kelly.
He wasn't talking. Like,
No.
I asked him how it was. He said, fine.
Was she crying?
No. She didn't shed a tear.
No tears.
Not one tear.
No, she faced.
She wasn't hysterical. She was just
No.
calm.
She
Did
calmed
you
down the
actually
phone,
see
they told
Summer
her
in the
she
car?
wasn't crying.
When they pulled up, yeah.
Yeah.
So you saw her.
She did.
Was she alive?
In an interview with Hunter's mother, she reveals that when Candace dropped Hunter off later that day, she wouldn't let his mother say goodbye to Summer, who was still in the car.
She was sleeping when it was hot out there.
She was sleeping.
They had the windows rolled up. It was hot.
The
out.
windows were rolled up, and I wanted to give her a hug,
No
and she
air
said I couldn't
conditioning.
give her a hug.
So right there, that's
that
where I
suspicious
said,
to you?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And I
Because,
told
you
the
know,
TV
you
that.
heard of a secondary drug.
I said I always hug that baby. I will never see her
Whether
in my
she's
name.
sleeping or not.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would wake up.
She would wake up
loved
and crawl
her.
in my arms.
Where you swallow
She'd
so
be out
much
of that
water
car in a
to go
heartbeat
to
in my
the-
house.
Summer loved her.
Kelly.
He wasn't talking. Like,
No.
I asked him how it was. He said, fine.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So Hunter's mother is saying Candace dropped Hunter off, and at that time, all the windows on the vehicle were rolled up. Summer was in the back, and she appeared to be sleeping, and they would not let her do any, hug her or whatever. So is that suspicious? Well, it could be. It could be they all knew she was passed away or something was definitely wrong. And why didn't they go directly to the hospital? Right? Right from the lake to the hospital. So we know that she was unconscious or they said she was sleeping. And that's why Hunter's mother was not able to give her a hug or talk to her or whatever. Is that something fishy? Now, here's what I think happened. Hunter said, talking to Chris Harbaugh, or whatever his name is, Hunter said she was up and awake. But the mother is saying, no, she wasn't. She was sleeping. Right? She appeared to be knocked out and sleeping already or whatever. So who's telling the truth? Right? That's probably why they want to re-question Hunter, because Hunter was saying, "Oh no, she was up. She was up and alive and all that." Interesting. So if she was sleeping and they wouldn't let Hunter's mother give her a hug or a kiss or whatever, is there a reason why? Why all the windows up? And they were calm. She said they appeared calm. So either they all were in on it except for Hunter's mother, and she didn't know. Well, we don't know how long after this occurred that the mother told us this, right? Excuse me, Debbie, I'm under attack. Did Tennessee report this? I don't know. I imagine that's probably why they want to talk to Hunter again. Let me see what Debbie said. I don't mean to be mean or say something out of line, but this is kind of old news. I don't think it's that old. I don't think so, but it's a key thing in it, see? Because we have Hunter saying something totally different on camera, right? That that Summer was alive and she was up and uh, she was alive in the vehicle. So, but the mother is saying, well, she was sleeping. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But like I said, we don't know how long this information has been out. And like you said, did Tennessee, TBI or whatever it is, know uh, about this information, right? At the time of the investigation. So it's possible that Candace didn't want anyone around because and I seen the photos of Summer in the back seat, and yes, it looked like she was pale white and and already gone. And maybe if Hunter's mother would have went ahead and opened up the door and went to go hug her or whatever, like Hunter's mother was saying, she would have woke up and gave her a hug, right? Because they loved her that much. So, is there a reason why they didn't want her to hug her or give him a kiss or whatever? Because she was deceased. And here's the thing: if something was wrong, why didn't they leave Hunter's house right from there and go straight to the hospital? Let me see what Debbie said. We know about them too, saying, in my opinion, she was already gone. Yeah, she was asleep. So they said, yeah, yeah, Debbie. And that's pretty fishy. But see, Hunter said something different talking to Jim or Chris McDowell or whatever his name is. And that's probably where the stories are crossing, right? That's probably where the stories are crossing because Hunter said when he left that car, she was fine, right? But now Hunter's mother is saying, well, she was asleep and they wouldn't let me touch her. They wouldn't let me give her a kiss. They wouldn't let me. Oh, it's possible. And the photos did look like she was possibly very sick or I thought when I blew that photo up, there looked like maybe a slight bruise on the side of the head or something. So, a concussion, when you hit your head, they tell you don't go to sleep, right? Because we heard in some of the hunters' stuff that uh, Summer went underwater. So, were they playing or something? Summer got drowned or hit her head or went underwater and hit her head on a rock? Or were they skipping stones out there and one of the rocks hit Summer and she got a concussion and she went to bed? Which you're not supposed to let somebody, if somebody hits their head pretty good, you are not supposed to let them go to sleep because that's what a concussion does. Uh, it'll make you tired and you want to sleep. And when you sleep, if you have a real bad concussion, you'll vomit and you'll choke on your own vomit. So and also you can slip into a coma with a head injury. So is that what happened? They let her go to sleep and she never woke up. It's possible if she hit her head or maybe she drowned or something and they brought her back to life or whatever and they let her go back to bed. I don't know. we don't really know. It's our only our speculations and theories and everything. Did TBI say they wanted to talk to Hunter on YouTubers or YouTubers? I think Chris McDowell wants to re-interview him or talk to him. But see, what people don't know is Chris is in the justice system. He still has pull, so it's very well possible that they might want to have Chris, you know, talk to him again. See, and that's what I'm saying. See, the story wasn't adding up probably because he was saying some of the stuff Hunter was saying is not adding up now. Or somebody that someone said something that just ain't adding up because the mother's saying one thing and Hunter and the rest of them were saying no, she's up. She was live when I left that uh, vehicle and everything. When really now the mother's saying no, she was sleeping passed out and they wouldn't let me touch her. He may be, but he is not Tennessee TBI. No, he's not. He's not. But he is probably working the case, and he might have pull to where they use him. Maybe Hunter feels more comfortable around him or something. Uh, if that's the case, if Chris McDonough or whatever his name is didn't have any power or anything, then why did they let Hunter be interviewed by him? Is my question. So Chris must have some kind of power, Deb, because why would he be interviewing Hunter and the family and not TBI? That's kind of weird, ain't it? I wouldn't talk to that dude. His mom agreed to it. Yeah, his mom agreed to it and everything, but now he's saying that he reviewed the interview video and the mother was giving off signs and evil looks and stuff and uh, underneath a table waving at Hunter not to say stuff, or when he did say something she gave him a look. So going back and looking at the video now, like he said, yeah, I can see that too, how she's eyeballing him before he says something to Chris. She's looking at him. She turns her head uh, away from Chris, so you can't see her eyes. Chris probably couldn't see her eyes, but her eyes were on Hunter, being like, "Don't answer that, or watch what you say." Or so that's what I'm saying. People's body language will throw off certain signs. So maybe that's what Chris is thinking. Maybe that things ain't adding up. The mother's saying she was passed out in the back seat sleeping and they wouldn't let her touch her, and she always gives the kid a hug and kiss. But that day, mysteriously, they would not let her. Yeah, maybe, right? Maybe something did happen and it was an accident. It was an accident, but that accident turned into something worse because if it was truly an accident, they should have called the police or authorities or went to the hospital. Right? If it was truly an accident, hey, we were out there playing and I accidentally did something and Summer got in the way and they would have handled it different, don't you think? Or somebody did something and the messages that Candace was sending to Don, it's over or it's done or whatever, was somebody doing something, and that means Hunter must have been, because Hunter was with him that day. Hunter must have seen something then, right, or known something. So are they trying to? Is Hunter's mom coming to his rescue, saying, "Oh no, she was dead before they got home," or were they trying to say, "No, she was alive," because they didn't want Hunter to get involved, and she was alive when they dropped off Hunter And this must have happened after they dropped Hunter off. Maybe. It's possible. Now, maybe somebody knew. Maybe someone out there knows more than what we know. Like Mr. Ernie Shell saying that she was being abused. And Mr. Ernie Shell might be right about that. Maybe someone did do something to her to silence her. And maybe they did use somebody that was. No, I'm just saying. Maybe they used somebody underage. Why? Because if he did get in trouble, he was a minor. And he probably wouldn't have done a long time in prison. So, being that young, he probably would have been in juvenile or whatever, right? So that's also possible. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened, right? But it is possible, right? People kill kids, or that people have kids kill people, and I'm not saying that's what happened, but I've seen that in the streets. What do? They recruit somebody real young to do it. Why? Because you never think to be walking down the street and a kid come walking up, a young kid, uh, to do any harm to you, right? But they do. They hire these young kids, and you just be walking down the street in the hood, and here comes a kid. You think everything's cool, and it's just a kid, and the kid's packing heat and kills you. I've seen that numerous times in cases. Heck, I think there was one kid out there in Chicago that was terrifying the streets, and he was just 13 or 12 years old. I mean, the kid was a natural born killer at like 12 years old, 10 or 11 years old, I think the kid was. I remember that when that was going on in Chicago. They called him one of the most deadliest kids in Chicago or something like that. He was a young hitman for this club or gang or whatever. So is it possible? It's possible. Anything's possible. Well, why did they get a hold of? Why was Candace talking to Don, sending messages saying it's done or whatever? That means Hunter was there, and something must have happened because Hunter said she was alive when he got dropped off. She was up and alive. And then the photos come out where she don't look alive, and they look like her head's leaning up a big gallon of milk. And that milk might have been cold, and they put it on her side of her head or something. Maybe she had a concussion. Maybe something happened. Something definitely happened, folks. The photos of her that were taken in the car seem to where she's very pale. In summer, had a tan, and they were at the lake that day. She would have at least been sunburned from swimming and stuff, but she was pitch white. That's a sign. Let me see what Miss Debbie Fox is saying. Trying to keep her body cold in the heat of the summer. Yeah, it might have been. Might have been. But being pitch white like that, it could be shock. It could be internal bleeding. Or it just could be she got knocked out, and that's what happens when you lose body circulation and blood circulation. But McDowell can't do anything. I don't know why these people keep saying McDowell can't do anything. If he has any connections with the police or FBI, or once was, uh, I'm sure he still has pull. So he might be able to go to the courts and talk to the courts and let them and tell them, hey, something ain't adding up here. I understand what the family is saying, that Chris McDowell is no longer FBI or police or whatever, or an investigator or whatever, but that doesn't mean that he can't still go to the courts or district attorney or whatever and explain his case, and then they do question him or want to talk to him. Let me see. Debbie says they don't interview people at picnic tables outside. Oh, yes, they do, Debbie. Yes, they do. Oh, yeah. If a police officer wants to question you or talk to you about something, they'll come right to your house and talk to you. They'll sit right on your front porch with you as you explain to them what's going on, right? They're just talking to you. If they want to arrest you, or they'll say, uh, we want to contain you, uh, and we want to question you down at the station, right? And they would have brought him to the station. And I've seen it where police would say, hey, we want to talk to you about something, you know, and not that they won't take the people down to the station. They'll just sit there and make their report right there. I will, or it will only end up on YouTube. Okay, Johnny, yeah, it's your channel. Say what you want. Sure, an underage child interview on live YouTube. You're right. Well, it don't. He could be undercover. See, people don't understand. Chris McDowell could be undercover. He could have went to the courts and got permission to talk to him, thinking that, well, he's just a reporter, right? Or he's not a cop. He was at one time, or he was an investigator at one time, and we don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to say what scenarios could have happened. Chris McDowell could have still had pull and went to the judge and said, I want to question him. And anything that he says, uh, if it, can be used in the court of law. So, depending on, see, you're right, Debbie. TBI might have taken Hunter to the police station, right? We don't know. TBI could have investigated Hunter, and then TBI said, well, something don't seem right, right? And then Chris McDowell comes along, and they might have used him. They might have used him and said, something just ain't right. Why don't you butter him up or see if you can get any information out of him? And they could have sent him in as an undercover, or he could have got the okay from the courts or the police to talk to him, right? Why? Well, because the police would have used whatever Hunter was saying and the mother was saying, or the reactions or whatever, against them in the court. Sorry, I didn't believe that. You're right. I didn't believe that. Believe what? I'm sorry. I'm under attack, Deb. I mean, it's possible. I don't know if that's true or if that's what happened, but it's very possible TBI got a hold of Hunter and brought him to the station, and then something didn't pan out, maybe, or something wasn't right, and Chris McDowell came along and uh, interviewed them or whatever, and then the police got a hold of Chris McDowell and, hey, give us that. We want to know what was said or whatever. And it could have went back and forth where they brought Chris McDonough in and told him, hey, go interview him because something ain't adding up. And they just told us this. They really didn't answer any questions, and then they used Chris to go in there and get information. Let me see what Debbie said. Never mind. I'm not saying anything more. Why? What is wrong? Sorry, I don't believe that. Well, you don't have to believe it, Debbie. I'm not. It's not. I'm just giving you scenarios of what could happen. You don't have to believe anything. I'm not trying to make you believe anything. I'm just trying to give you my opinion of what's up. I know you don't believe it. That's fine. You got your right not to believe it. Sure, an underage child interviewed live on YouTube. Yeah, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Now let's listen again to what they're saying. I don't know how old it is. I haven't done a Summer Wells video in a long time.
Is he crying?
No.
No.
She didn't shed a tear.
No tears.
Not one tear.
No, she faced.
She wasn't hysterical. She was just calm.
She
Did
called
you
me on the
actually
phone,
see
they said
Summer
her
in the
face
car?
wasn't crying.
When they pulled up, yeah,
Yeah.
so you saw her.
She did.
Was she alive?
In an interview with Hunter's mother, she reveals that when Candace dropped Hunter off later that day, she wouldn't let his mother say goodbye to Summer, who was still in the car.
She was sleeping when it was hot out that
She was
day.
sleeping.
They had the windows rolled up. It was hot.
The
out.
windows were rolled up, and I wanted to give her a hug,
No
and she
air
said I couldn't
conditioning.
give her a hug.
So right there,
Is
that's
that
where I
suspicious
said,
to you?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And I
Because,
told
you
her
know,
she did
you
that.
heard of secondary
I said, I always hug that baby. Whenever she
Whether
heard my
she's
name.
sleeping or not.
Oh, she
Yeah.
would wake up.
She would
She
wake up
loved
and crawl
her.
in my arms.
where you swallowed.
She'd be
so
out of
much
that
water
car in a
you
heartbeat
were
in my
out.
house.
Summer loved her.
He wants to talk.
See, this is very fishy. You know, but then again, it could be just the family trying to cover up for Hunter because Hunter was there or wrapped up into this stuff somehow. And they were trying to protect their son. I could see how I understand that. But we really don't know all the information because we don't know if TBI got a hold of Hunter before Chris and things that weren't working out or they weren't getting the answers that they wanted. And they seen an opportunity and used Chris. Uh, and Chris might not be nothing but an interviewer. But that don't mean that his stuff can't be used uh, to solve a case. So you don't have to believe it. I'm not trying to make you people believe anything. I'm not the Messiah. You don't have to believe everything and follow me, right? That's Jesus's job, not mine. But is it possible it went down that way? It's very possible. She was dead when they rolled up there. That's why they wouldn't let her touch her or do whatever. It's very possible. I'm not going to say it's not possible because it is possible. Right? I mean, you don't have to believe me because I don't know the case. I don't know the evidence. I wasn't there, so I have no idea. All I can give you is my scenarios. Does it make sense that they didn't want anybody around in summer or to touch her because maybe she was cold to touch? Uh, Possibly how many hours went by? Rigor mortis could have set in already, and they would have known right away, right, that she was deceased. And that would have implicated Hunter because Hunter lied, right? That's very possible. So I'm not saying Hunter's guilty of anything, but uh, it's funny how they won't now let Chris McDowell talk to Hunter and his family, his dad and everything is on there saying, "You ain't getting to my kid. You'll never find my kid." Uh, no one's looking for your kid but the authorities, so. Or Chris McDowell or whatever. The rest of the world don't care where Hunter is. He can stay lost his whole life. No, let me get in here. Yeah, we'll see you later, Chavez. You can spend a little time in lockup. There you go, Valdez. Why did I time you out? I don't know. I just felt like it. It's only for 10 seconds. It's not like he's going to be in there too long. And that's showing you that this is my show. That's what it's showing you. Nothing else. but I have full control of this, yeah. Which I didn't before, but now I do. Because he thinks women should be in the kitchen. I love a good woman that can cook, but also a good woman that knows how to treat a man, and also a good woman that likes to do things. So you got that right. But this is about Summer. So what do I think? I think it's very possible it went down like that. That's why they didn't want anybody around her. Right? So someone is lying, whether it be Hunter's mother, or Candace, or Grandis, whatever. One of them is lying. Either that little girl was already deceased at the lake, or something happened once they got home. So either way, they're screwed. And even if Hunter had nothing to do with it, if he lied to cover it up, well, then it's conspiracy to cover up a crime. And then there are charges for that. Let me see what Debbie's saying. That's why Johnny has like 5 followers. Yeah, I don't have a big channel here at all. The whole world hates me, Valdez, so you're probably right about that. I have a very open, clear mind. I can think for myself. Thank you. Well, go ahead and think for yourself. You go, girl. There ain't nobody trying to make you think anything other than I'm just throwing out scenarios or theories of what could have happened, and it does make sense to me. Now, you have to remember, these people have a big follower, right? Andrew Pandrews has a huge, huge channel, right? A lot of people follow him. Plus, he's already proven that he's in some kind of a gang or club and knows all kinds of people, and he rolls a certain way, and uh, probably mafia connections or whatever. But I don't care. I know, but for some reason, for somebody that has such small followers, why are you always here about that? That's my question. So, Debbie, what are you thinking there? Do you want to voice your opinion that you're going to say this is old news and means nothing to the case? I'm just wondering, Valdez, what do you think? You think it has anything to do with the case? You don't think it has anything to do with the case? No? Nah, well. So what do you think happened, Debbie? Do you think Ernie Shell was telling the truth when he said she was being molested, and as she was being sexually assaulted, they hit her with a hammer? I mean, that's Ernie Shell's words. Yes, you think that's what happened? Ernie Shell was right. My question is how did Ernie Shell get that information? That's my question. Who told him that? Right? How would he know that she was being sexually abused or SA'd as the same time they hit her with a hammer? How did he know that? I think her dad showering with her naked says a lot. Yeah, well, that does. Yeah, sure does. Look at her. Yeah, yeah, that does. That ain't good. I mean, I could see showering with a kid when they're young, 1, 2, 3 years old. But until she's 7 or 8 or 9 or whatever, that's pretty crazy. John is the Andrew Tate of Indiana. No, I'm not. Oh, Andrew. I heard they picked him up too. Oh, Tate or something somewhere out there. Oh, Andrew. Uh, but I think he got out of that. I think they were just after him because he's another dude that speaks his mind, right? Andrew Tate speaks his mind. He don't hold back. Now, I have no idea if he's in the criminal organization ring or not. I don't know. How the heck am I supposed to know? It's none of my business. She struggled to walk upright. Look at her. Who, Debbie? Look at who? Summer? Who are you talking about? Think her dad was, yeah, taking showers with her naked. Yeah. Summer? Summer couldn't walk straight? What do you mean? She was bent over. Oh, that could be true. I don't know. That could be. But my question is how did Ernie Shell find out that information? It would have had to been somebody that was doing it, somebody that was there. I mean, you understand that, right? Oh my God, all her old pictures. Well, I've seen the pictures of her in the video that they played of her in a dress, but she seemed like she was standing straight up. And that was the one with the red barrel that said for sale or whatever. And she was jumping around or whatever in the rain or whatever. Here's the thing, though. It just seems fishy that all these people lived around Summer, Debbie. At the time of this was going on, Ernie Shell said he lived there by him. Uh, Andrew lived by him. Jody Sue, all these people. It's been 4 years, yeah. It's been 4 years since we went there, yeah. And I can say whatever I want. Valdez is the Christopher Valdez is the uh, John Gacy on this chat. He's the John Gacy of this chat. If I was Hunter, I would talk this. I wouldn't talk to this guy either. Well, I don't think Hunter's going to have any choice here soon because Chris McDowell is saying that it's a cold case, that it's open. So he might be investigating it and working it. Therefore, if Hunter don't uh, answer questions, then that could look suspicious. No, he don't. Debbie, you're right. He don't have to unless Chris McDowell is working the case. Being that it is a cold case, Chris McDowell is considering this a cold case, and TBI is considering it probably a cold case. So if Chris McDowell was given the case and working the case, then he could question Hunter. Now that's whether Hunter wants to come in for questioning or not. That's up to Hunter and his family or whatever. But Hunter is an adult now. He can make his own decisions. He still don't have to talk to him. No, he don't have to, Debbie. You're right. He don't have to. He don't have to talk to Chris. But like I said, Chris, even though he's retired, Debbie, from FBI or whatever, he might be a private investigator. And it's very well possible that they hired him to investigate it because TBI was getting hush mouth from Hunter or Hunter's family. Okay, yep, you're right. No, I'm not right. I'm just saying, my God, I don't know if I'm right or not. I'm just saying if it's a cold case, they're considering it a cold case. So anyone can work the case. I can work the case if I wanted to. The only thing is I would have to report my findings to the police or to the courts. You don't have to be a private investigator to investigate a case. You don't even have to be a police officer. A citizen can work the case if they wanted to. And people are like, what? Well, people don't understand the stuff. I don't understand it all, but it's very well possible that Chris could work the case, and the government can't do anything about it because it's an open case. I mean, that's just my opinion, but I don't know everything, so I don't know. But but this ain't a battle with me. These people are in some kind of a contest, and I'm like, I have no idea what contest they're in. It's not a battle to me. I'm just voicing my opinion and the options that could be out there or what the government can do. And anybody that's ever dealt with the government or police or anything know they lie. They can lie, and they can watch you and do whatever they want. Uh, they can hire people to investigate you or watch you or whatever. So yeah, it's very possible. Now whether that's true or not, I have no idea. That's just my opinion. It is true they can do that. I don't know why it's a competition with you folks. I'm not in a competition. I can I can call TBI and ask them if he working the case. You can. I don't know if they'll tell you the truth, but you can call them and ask, is Chris McDowell working the case? Go ahead. Let me know what they say. You made it a competition. I didn't make anything a competition, Debbie. I didn't make it a competition. You folks did. I'm not playing in your competition. I'm just doing a video on it. Now, I don't know how old this new information is because I haven't done anything on the Summer Wells case in a long time. But listening to all this stuff, someone's right. Either Ernie Shell's right, and he got the right information, which if he had the right information, I'm sure the police would have questioned Mr. Shell on how he got that information. You would think that the police would have hunted him down and wanted to question him, and that makes sense because now Mr. Ernie Shell is saying he can't talk at all about the Summer Wells case. Let me see. I have 4 years of it from the start. I am sure if Chris McDonough had anything in the first place, they would have went back and got Hunter. They did. They questioned him twice, and his dad's saying that they want to question him again. But he's saying no. Chris McDowell wants to question him again, but he's saying no. So the first time must have been TBI, and the second time was Chris McDowell. And now Chris McDowell wants to interview him again. So that makes sense to me. It's very possible. I am fighting about the TBI, not Chris. He is retired. He runs a YouTube channel. Well, that's true. That's true. But like I said, government lies a lot. And Chris McDowell could be lying. And he's still working for the government. We don't know. That's one thing. If I learned anything on YouTube is don't believe everything you hear. And like I said, it's just my opinion, my scenario. I have no idea what happened that day because I know none of these people. And I wasn't there. So I have no idea. I don't have a file of investigation file of actually what the autopsy said and what happened and all that. Debbie, do you know what the autopsy showed? I think it's almost time for tea. He's not underage, Debbie. He's an adult now. Yeah, what did Summer's autopsy show? Well, I don't know. They must have found a body because they're saying that she's buried in a she's buried in a uh, cemetery, and she was cremated. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's the videos that are out. She's buried in a cemetery. I am back. I am slightly buzzed. I think I'm gonna have to be buzzed. Miss Debbie Fox has been so mean to me today. She has just been in here busting my chops left and right. Really? Who said that? Watch the videos, Debbie. Watch the videos. Yeah, you've been looking for her for 4 years, but somebody said she was cremated and buried and already in a cemetery. It's like, wow. So if she was cremated and she was buried, then it's against the law to cremate somebody without any kind of doctors looking at them or anything. You just don't. They have to do an autopsy. They have to find out what the death was. Now they're saying that she was cremated and she's buried in a cemetery or whatever. I don't know, man. Sounds like a physical wouldn't say that. A psycho wouldn't say that. A what? I don't know. You folks need help. Probably. I think you guys are smoking too much of that high potent ganja. Well, I don't know, Debbie. Like I said, it's all rumors and everything. There's videos out there saying that Summer Wells is buried right there in the cemetery. And she was cremated, and the family knew somebody that was working at the crematory place, and they cremated her and put her in the ground. Man, that's what they're saying on some of these videos. Stop agging that she was not been found. Summer has not been found. She has been missing for 4 years. I know that, but that's what some of these videos are saying that. They know exactly what happened to her and they buried her. Interview Room posted a video 5 days ago, still talking about Hunter. Yeah, I know. I know, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Debbie says it's all old news. It's old news, Celt. I am sure if she was found, that would make headlines. Well, not really, because they're saying that they belong to some cornbread mafia and they had connections with churches and all this stuff. That's cool, Johnny. I still like you. No, nobody likes me, Cal. I'm the most hated YouTuber out there. Right? Debbie has been very mean to me all day, just attacking me left and right. Interview room posted video 5 days ago, still talking about Hunter. Debbie said, "I'm sure that she was found. It would be headlines." Well, they said they found a body, a skeleton too, out there in the mountains out there where they live, or the next county over, or something like that. And there was videos out saying it was summer, it's summer. And there's another case where they brought tracking dogs out, and they said the tracking dogs ended at the end of the driveway. I couldn't track it no further. She has not been found. I don't know. I don't think so. I know, Celt, it's ridiculous. Well, thanks for liking me still, Celt, because Debbie has just been beating me with her cane all day. Just a beating on me. Johnny, I am trying to save your ass with this. She has not been found. How are you trying to save my butt? I'm just doing a video on giving my opinion and telling you there's videos out there where people said she's inside the court. They done buried her in the. They're making all kinds of, and it's their right to make videos in their own scenarios and theories. There is no bad scenario in theory in a murder case. But thank you, Miss Debbie, for saving my butt. But sometimes it feels like you're beating my butt other than saving it. And really, I don't need to be saved because I'm just doing a video on my opinions of what's going to happen, right? Nobody made these people say anything. It kind of makes sense now because Ernie Shell refuses to talk about the Summer Wells case after he came out and said that she was being SA'd and then was hit with a hammer as it was happening. So, and then you have old Andrew Pandrew out there that's telling everybody, you know, his kid's on the run. You'll never find his kid. Why is he on the run? Why are you guys hiding him if he's completely innocent? Remember when the government was building those stealth airplanes and the common folks were saying the government is building an invisible plane? No, everyone's been coming out saying they were UFOs. Uh, the stealth bombers and the planes, yeah. Well, nobody knew about it. And then when we seen them flying in the sky, everyone was like it's a UFO. So who knows? But you might be right about that. Someone took the choking too far. Sadly, that has happened before, allegedly. The choking too far. Oh, were they choking her or something like that? Well, a lot of these people today have that sex stuff where they like to be choked as they're having sex. So maybe it was something sick. We don't know. We don't know. My son was telling me about those. We are lucky to have those. There is no invisible plane. It's just radar. It's just stealth. That's all. They're not invisible. God, you guys watch too much propaganda stuff. Even Trump knows they're not invisible, right? I could look up there. I can't see them. Well, of course you can't because they're flying at 50,000 feet. No one can see them. Dude, those bunker bombs did right into the air vent. Shit. That is some Star Wars Luke talking about the first Death Star. Well, hopefully we're out of it. So there's a lot going on with the Summer Wells case. What do I think? I think they'll probably be reopening it. It's a cold case, or it'll stay cold case, and you'll have other people start working it. And the only thing is they'll have to report to the government if they're going to work the case. They'll have to turn their investigation, uh, whatever evidence they come across, or whatever uh, information they get, or whatever video of the interview, or whatever phone call. They would have to report that to the courts, or to TBI, or to the police, or whoever, FBI, whoever. Aliens are growing humans for our densochrome. What? I don't know. They're stoned out of their heebie-jeebies. I think Ernie drinks that stuff. I don't know what Ernie drinks. Who knows? Only God knows. But my question is how did they find this out? And if Ernie Shell found that out and he told the government and it checked out, then Ernie Shell is a witness and is in witness protection. Although I don't know why he's on YouTube all the time. Maybe that's why the police keep going to his house saying, listen, this just ain't going to work out. We're trying to protect you, but here you are every day on YouTube. Right? People are coming to my house and I wonder why. We're trying to. Ever get really stoned and think that whole Earth is just inside a giant child's aquarium? No. You're totally way too high. You're smoking way too potent of cannabis and you're delusional right now. Drink some milk or water, eat something, and relax. My God, I can't believe it. I bet you this don't happen to Chris McDowell and his jet. Probably don't. God, this would never happen to Harry Truman. They are watching us and laughing. They probably are laughing at you guys. I'm trying to do a video seriously, and you guys are half baked out of your cojones. Are you talking about alien ships and everything and planes and let me see what's going on. It will blow your mind, Johnny. Relax and let's join the stream of enlightenment. I don't think so. You're way out there on cloud nine. You're up there with the stealth bombers, right? You're higher than eagle tits. You're way up there. I think it's time for you to come down. I think you should lower your flaps and come down a little bit. Kel, I love you, Debbie. I love you too, Kel. Well, they just made love. My God. I'm glad for you folks. Now, can you folks find another channel to harass other than that? I bet you this never happened to Sherlock Holmes and his chat. Trying to do a serious video here. I've had one puff. Thank you very much. I enjoy hanging with my two friends. Well, there's a little song out there that goes something like this. Let me tell you about my best friend. She's a stoner, oh yeah, smokes a half a ounce, yeah. Let me tell you about my other friend. She's whacked out on smoke, yeah, she smokes a bowl every time. Now let me tell you about my best friends. They're smoking too high potent of a ganja, yeah. Thank you, Kel. I do too. When Johnny is putting us in timeout, you never loved me. You were sent here, probably paid from one of these country rappers or some crazy cuckoo out there channel to come into my chat, infiltrate, try and get nude photos of me, open up accounts, and you're making all kinds of money off of me as you're sitting on a beach somewhere with your toes in the sand. Now, turn yourselves in before I have to use a daisy cutter on yous. I don't listen to that country rap. Yes, you do. You're in love with all of them. Debbie Fox, I heard a joke story like that. Debbie, the aliens called you or called us intelligent meat sacks. You ain't got no meat. You ain't got no sack. It's all been sucked out by the aliens and replaced with Boston cream. And now somehow you taste like a Boston cream donut. Kelt, you got me crying. Well, keep crying. Cry me a river. Bunch of meat sacks. Got a bunch of dudes in here. Just sickos. Probably in dark rooms with a bunch of lotion and paper napkins or something around them. Just sickos. Ooh, we're having a tremor. We're having a tremor. Look at my lights moving back and forth. We're having a little bit of tremor here. Or they're using electronic microwave weapons now on me. Speaking of meat sack, how you feeling over there, Johnny? I'm feeling pretty good. I might just have to start smoking cannabis to to handle these two. They're kind of out there. Dang, I wish I had a Slim Jim big old meat stick. I bet you do. You got one somewhere around there. You'll order one, or you probably got one on the way. There's one thing you don't go without, and that's your big meat stick. Slim Jim, I used to love those. No, she's talking about a big meat stick. I don't think you know what she's talking about, but let her inject it into your rectum and you'll find out what she's talking about. Slim Jims, I used to love those. No way in heck you could handle us too. No, I wouldn't want to. I really wouldn't want to. I probably would have to take double doses of medication and a bunch of cannabis just to deal with it. Necropolian is praising Trump. Not in Hulu or not in Yuhu, whatever his name is over there in Israel. Is he praising Trump or has he got a gun to his head saying, "You're gonna get us out of this. We're the promised land." Trump Trump he didn't look right when he gave his speech. He looked kind of pale, and he talked about God. He said, "God, thank you. My God, yeah, this is, I don't know." I don't know. They might have him under MK Ultra, right? Who knows? We just don't know. We don't know. People think it's a joke, and I'm like, it's no joke. They might have him up in hostage. He might be a hostage in the Oval Office. We're all effing hostages. We're all hostages now. Dang it, all of us. It's unbelievable. Say it like that, Johnny. Not in yo-ho, yoo-hoo. I don't have to say. Quit bossing me around, Fox. Telling me whatever to do, however. Can't even touch myself without permission from her. Yeah, I'm a hostage. These two ladies are going crazy. Netropolitan. Debbie and I are food grubbing ice cream. Oh, you two are together, swapping spit and beef sticks and everything as you're sitting together on the couch watching me. Yeah, that sounds like a real thing. But you know what? I'm starting to see what these other YouTubers are talking about. These people come in the chat, change the subject, and then we get sidetracked from what we're talking about. And they're sent in from these other channels, right? And that's to try and change the subject of the topic of the video or to try and drive people just half nuts and everything till we just go ahead and send stealth bombers to take them out. Let me see what's going on, chat. We have two people reading this comedy. I don't know what two people you are talking about. I chased them away. I know you chase everyone away that I want to try and be with, but listen, I'm not going back to you, skanks. It's over. We had love at one time, but it's over with. I'm going forward with beautiful woman, wife, and beautiful stuff. I can't stay back here with tallywankers. Just send me a bunker buster. I could send you one, but you're married, so I can't send you a bunker buster. That's adult stuff, and children shouldn't be playing with that kind of stuff. One is Johnny's secret admirer. One is not Johnny's secret admirer. Johnny don't have nothing secret. Johnny don't have no admirers. Stalkers, yes. Crazy psychotics, yes. A loving woman that wants to be with him, no. No. Johnny's empty with that. Naomi said she stays in the bushes. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm tired of this madness. No, I'm going to end this video. Not married. Johnny would send it. Johnny would send it postage due. No, you're a married woman or a man, whatever it is. Now I'm going to end this video and I'm going to come back. I'm going to make some tea. I'm going to be right back with a fire where you ladies can talk, or you dudes or whatever can talk, but this is a crime video. And I'm getting hip to these people sending you folks in. How much are they paying you, ladies? Are they paying you in cannabis? Is it a cannabis store that is paying you, ladies, to come in here and try and come back, Kelp? Come back, Kelp. That's all she cares about is Kelp. Now, I'm going to get the fire ready. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm going to make some coffee. I'm going to end this, or not coffee, tea. And then you ladies can get as crazy as you want. Or dudes, or whatever I don't even know what is going on. But then you can get as crazy as you want on another video. I'll try, but someone wants to watch the rest of Shrek 2. Well, it must be your husband or something. It must be your husband or something that wants to watch Shrek 2. Okay, Debbie says, enjoy Shrek. Yeah, it's probably your husband or something. I'm going to sit down and watch Shrek 2. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all. God bless that man. Give me your address. I'll send him a Purple Heart. Oh God! And one of them Shrek adult dolls. No, I'll be back here shortly. I know you ladies are very busy. You got boyfriends, you got husbands, and you got six boyfriends on the side. So I know you're very busy, ladies. I might have this fire all alone tonight. I'm not sure, but Kel, we hope you make it back. We hope you don't. We hope you make it back after your Shrek 2. Uh, and I'll be back here shortly. And then if you come back here in probably 5-10 minutes, you ladies can just have your little selves a party or whatever. You can just talk all kinds of crazy, naughty stuff or whatever, but I can't have you do it on this video. It's a crime video. All glory goes to God. Amen. Yes, prayers for Summer Wells, prayers for Israel and the whole world. God bless, and I'll be right back.